This pool's really fucking big. Let's relax for a bit, guys. Let's go. Oh, how relaxing is that? It doesn't get any better than that, guys. When you work really fucking hard, you can enjoy things like this. What's up, everybody? Just finished swimming in the pool, hung out with my wife, had a really good dinner. My face is a little bit bleached out from the chlorine. So this is how I'm always in my Discord group, always keeping up with what's going on with my chat. Tonight I decided to start playing a game, and I'm also in a gigantic trade right now. You guys can see my position right here. I'm down $2,700 in a $175,000 short position. I'm shorting this coin called MKR because I believe it made a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the top, and this is the retracement to the upside. So there's a potential to win about $20,000 or $30,000 on this trade. This is one of the more trades that I keep generally private when I trade really big. I don't tell everybody all of my positions because some of them are really big, and I don't want people to take on that same type of risk as me. But if I win this trade, I'm gonna be up like almost 60,000 American dollars this month. What are you lovers doing in the kitchen, huh?
Look at Hunter's eyes. He's like, hey, Daddy, how's it going? Coco. Hey, look at her walk. Look at her bum. Look at that sexy bum. Hi, Coco. Show me your bum. Yeah, show me your bum. So cute. Come on, show them. I'm gonna follow you. Oh, look at that walk. Look at that catwalk. Yeah, Coco, you're so cute. Show everybody your cute face. That's Coco. This is Hunter. They're twins. From the same litter, they're munchkin cats. They're very beautiful. Hi, Coco.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? I do apologize in advance if you hear that sound in the background. That's actually my really loud air conditioner in my room. So let's talk about MKR. So first of all, I want to talk about the position that I'm in. I'm in a $610,000 position, and I was actually in it overnight, and I gotta admit right away, because I'm a very honest trader to you guys. I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes as me, and I hope that you learn from these videos. I was actually in the trade overnight and I fell asleep, and there was a point where I didn't have a stop loss at all, and I was actually down about $35,000. So there was a chance for me to actually get liquidated because I am leveraged, and it's really important for you to set a hard stop loss before you go to sleep. I just happened to pass out because I was so tired, like around 6 in the morning till about noon almost. I passed out and I just didn't have an alarm on, and that's something you never want to do. I was actually just so tired this week that I passed out. So this trade here, it could have been disastrous if the price went up above my liquidation price of $13.59. I would have lost basically $87,000. That's my margin balance here. So I'm leveraged times 7 right now. I'm okay for this type of leverage because I have a lot of USDT in my main account on my ledger, and I can send it over anytime I want. So I'm not really leveraging because I want to play more that I don't have. I'm leveraging because I'm too lazy to transfer from my nano ledger over, and I have that liquidity. If you have the liquidity, it is more than okay to leverage high. But if you don't have it, then it's important to understand that the goal is not to play and trade with bigger money so you can make more. The goal is to grow it slowly over time, and you need to focus on that. The profits are going to become a bonus of the successful trades and the good trades that you take. So the price is starting to drop to the downside, and I'm going to talk to you exactly about why this was a really good short to have taken. If you take a look at it on a high time frame, for example on a daily, or like on a 3-day, what you're going to see is that there's a possible 5 waves that are in here already. Starting from June 23rd, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, and most likely a 5th wave. So because this is most likely a fifth wave, we have to now identify some resistances that have been holding long term or that have existed over a long period of time. So what we're noticing from very far back here in August of 2022 is there's a resistance at 129, I believe, and it would be at 129.2. Do you see that? So I'm identifying that resistance right there. Now the next thing that we're going to notice is that on July the 21st, it broke out one time. So you can see here that on July the 21st, that wick to the upside, it broke up to the 152 range right here, okay? So that's the second resistance that we must acknowledge. So if we acknowledge that resistance and we say that, oh wow, so when it first broke out over here, it broke out in the two folds, okay? Let me explain to you the logic behind here. So the first resistance that it broke out was the one from very, very far back in August, okay? It broke it, and then it actually tried to break it again. So in this range here is the range in between the two resistances, which means that it's a range of one of the breakout of August 2021 and second the breakout above the July 21st. So it's a zone that you got to be really cautious about. And we can see that it breaks out above here. And once it does, the question is, will it actually stay above there or not? So the first place that it broke out, it was important for it to stay above it. And then if it broke above the second one, it was important for it to stay above it again. But the fact that it does not stay above it and it hovers into this neutral zone means that it could have been a bull trap, okay? But the fact that it actually fell back below the August 2021 high, or sorry, August of last year, 2022 high, okay, and it fell back below it, it means that everything now above it is considered a bull trap. So I'm trying to rationalize with you the logic behind the price action trading of resistances, which is really, really important to understand. So if that didn't make sense, maybe go back and watch it again. But I'm basically talking about two resistances that needed to be broken, and it needed to stay above those price points for us to consider a bullish momentum above it. So you can see very, very clear MACDs as well. That looks like it's starting to fade, okay? You can see, for example, RSI on, say, a 5-hour. We're starting to see the bearishly diverging RSI. See the right peak is lower, right? We're also starting to see kind of 5 is formed right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And yes, these RSIs can also help us identify the possible structures of the final waves, as you can see here. Okay, so it looks like there's a possible break that could be coming. And then if you identify it further over here, what you're going to see is there's a gigantic trend line that looked like it wanted to come to the downside. And yes, guys, I'm doing all of this on my phone. So you see this trend line that's forming right here? This is really important to acknowledge. Zooming into a lower time frame, we can probably adjust this trend line a lot better. So what we're seeing is something like this, okay? Just something perhaps like that, I would say. Draw it the best that you can. It doesn't always need to be 100% perfect the way that you draw these trend lines, as long as they're reasonable. This is a reasonable trend line, in my opinion, on the 2-hour time frame or so. So because it's a reasonable trend line, I would now have to assume that it's highly logical for the price to reach this possible point down over there. So notice the white line. Actually, I'm going to make it yellow here. So notice this yellow line. It broke above it, and then it ended up bull trapping. So it didn't actually quite stay above, which is the high of 2022 in August. And what you'll notice from price action trading as well is that there's a gigantic upside down hammer candle, right, which is called a shooting star candle. And let me explain to you the logic behind a shooting star candle. The logic behind a shooting star candle is this. So there's a wick, see? See, there's a wick that goes to the upside. I'm just going to put my mouse to the right so you can explain, but I'm referencing the wick over there, okay? See the wick from here all the way to the top up there. Do you see that? So what this means is that during the formation of this candle, the bulls were buying to the upside. They were buying to the upside, and they pushed it to the upside heavily, okay? But by the end of the formation and close of the candle, what ended up happening was the bears ended up winning. They ended up driving the price back down, pushing it low, pushing it low, pushing it low. So this shows that there's been a battle of the Bulls versus the Bears where the Bulls were winning the first half of the game. But by the second half of the game, the Bears ended up defending extremely hard. Not only that, they ended up attacking on the other side as well and scoring. So this first half, the Bulls are attacking. Okay, they're so offensive. Think of it like a hockey game. Okay, one team A is winning, right, the whole time, first half. But by the end of the second half, team B not only starts to push them back to their own zone, but now they're also starting to score. So that's the logic behind this candle that shows that the momentum is now favoring one side more than the other. Does that make sense? So this candle tells an incredibly powerful story of how one side was winning and the other side is now losing. Okay, so this shows the momentum has changed, and it's like a tug of war between the Bulls and the Bears always. And when the momentum changes, it's very significant, and especially when it changes at a significant resistance. That's also important to combine these two confluent reasons and acknowledge that they're powerful. So you have a really high resistance at 1229, and then you have a breakout above it, but the breakout gets rejected. And then we fall back down to the zone where the resistance was, which means that the resistance was not only strong, but it also means that it was heavily rejected, and it doesn't look like there's going to be another attempt to the upside. There was actually multiple attempts to the upside. There was one on July 21st right there that failed, okay? And then there was multiple ones over here as well that ended up lasting for multiple hours. This ended up trying to stay above there for a period of, let me just double check here, 10 hours. So it failed on July 21, and it failed for 10 whole hours, and we fall back down below that line. Therefore, in my opinion, it would be considered extremely bearish right now, and it would be a great time to enter a short position if you are not in one. So now there's a gigantic green line right here, or white line rather, that looks like it wants to be broken eventually. And if it does get broken eventually, it's going to be a beautiful candle to end up shorting if it becomes very red. So we take a look at lots of different indicators right now, and we're seeing that like there might be a possible wave to the upside. There just might be. Okay, there's no strong, powerful, high time frame MACD crossovers quite yet, except for in the 1 hour. There's no bearishly diverging RSI on a low time frame, so there might be more upside momentum. But in cases like this, when you have a parabolic rally and a huge candle that goes to the upside, we may never get signs of bearishness on indicators because of the parabolic nature of the rally. So we simply cannot depend on just RSI or MACD. In fact, in many cases, they can prove to be irrelevant or unnecessary to use because as traders, we're equipped with multiple ways to do a technical analysis, multiple ways to analyze and try to conclude how the market is being. So as a technical analyst, you're pretty much like a scientist. When you first conduct an experiment, you have a hypothesis. That's what you believe. So during this hypothesis, we're going to say if we're bullish or bearish, or if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down. And then after that, we perform an experiment using multiple various techniques of technical analysis that's going to confirm or deny our bias. And then eventually we end up reaching a conclusion. And that conclusion will formulate the basis for our decision making for if we're going to enter a position, or we're going to short, or we're going to long, or we're going to do nothing and observe further, or if we're going to wait. So in this case right now, that white line looks like it's going to be a direct hit soon. It's inevitable. It's either going to hit that white line with accuracy and ease and then bounce off of it, or it's going to fall. If it bounces off of it, of course there's a chance of a parabolic rally to the upside further. But if it doesn't, then it's most likely going to break to the downside. If we take a look at, for example, on a 4-hour time frame, we can actually see other types of supports just based off of trend lines by itself. So for example, this one here is definitely a strong support. It's connecting 3 multiple points right there as a supportive structure. And if that first white one right here, actually I'm going to change it to yellow now, okay? I'm going to change that to red. So the yellow line right there, if that one breaks, Wouldn't it be logical to assume that that white line could be targeted as well near the $11,000 range? Right around. So this entire structure of the 5 valued wave that I believe is in took place over a period of roughly 48 days, like 45 days, something like that. So over 40 days, okay? And the reason why it's important to acknowledge the length of this is because we also use it as a method of time analysis to predict how long a short position would needed to be swung. So, for example, if this coin here, it moved 150%, all right? So it moved 150% over 45 days, we'll say. Imagine if it did the same thing on a shorter period of time, 150%, say in 2 weeks. That would be extremely volatile. So the correction or consolidation would probably be a lot less than 2 weeks, right? It'd probably be like a proportion or a percentage of that 2 weeks. Does that make sense? So the shorter of a time period it rallied, like for example, if it rallied 2 weeks, 150%, you can expect the correction to be maybe just a few days, right? It's going to be a percentage of the 2 weeks. Let's just say it's 20% or something of 14 days, so it could be 3 days. But because in this case, let's say it was 45 days, so if it was 20%, it would be 9 days. So we have to understand that we should not expect a very quick correction immediately. We need to understand that it took a long period of time to do this 150% rally over 45 days. Therefore, we need to really understand that this profit of ours, it might be taken and it might be swung over the next few days. Therefore, this is going to reaffirm and reassure your confidence for staying in the position for a long time. You need to be very aware of the fact that this is not going to be a quick trade, it's going to be a swing. So, despite the fact that I'm in a gigantic position right now, and I'm actually going to start breaking even very soon, probably. I'm very confident with my position size, and I'm also very confident that I'm going to win this trade over time. And it's going to be a longer period of time, but I know that I will win it because it just seems like that kind of trade where it's the top, man. It's the top. You know what I mean? So that is my analysis of this particular coin. I'm going to wait on this and I'm going to narrate a live trade and share with you my thoughts and opinions of a professional trader that trades up to, I trade up to $2 million. My biggest trade size was actually $1.7 million for day trading. So I'm a really good reference to learn from. And my ultimate goal is to make you become a more aware and consistent and profitable trader. So now let's wait. Let's wait for a drop to come to over here to hit that yellow line. And once it does, there's a possibility that we will get a gigantic drop to the downside. Maybe today. If not today, then probably the next few days. If you guys want to learn more about the strategies that I have to offer for this bull market, I highly suggest that you guys consider getting my Ultimate Bull Market Strategy Guide. It is by far the best course out there for you to learn technical analysis. It's going to get you inside of the mind of $1 million trader. You're going to get access to my Discord group for life. And it's always very active. There's always so many people posting. I'm always here and available to make sure you're making the best decisions. So definitely consider getting it. If you DM me, I will be more than happy to give you an incredible deal. Guys, what's up? So this is how I'm like typically trading. I'm like actually in bed most of the time. I'm barely on my computer. I usually have a beer with me and I just kind of sip on beer all day. It's summer, I can do it, right? And then by like 8 o'clock, I'm pretty drunk, to be honest. So I'm gonna turn off the camera though. I'm just giving you guys a snapshot of how my days are. So if you look right now, I'm actually in profit now, okay? I'm actually in profit. I was down, what, $4,000 or $5,000 earlier. Now I'm in profit. It has dropped significantly. The 30-minute chandelier exit indicator was incredibly important to acknowledge because it actually held the entire time, if you see there, right? It held there. So because of that, it was important to break. And then if it breaks to the downside where it turns red, then that's a strong indication that the volatility has now changed. So it does begin to turn red, which is a great indicator that the volatility has now changed. So I can remove it now and I don't need to see it on the screen. Another thing you'll notice is this trend line right here, okay? From right there, see this red one at $12.04? That is significant because it made a gigantic bounce on there before, or 1205 right there, okay? So because it made a big bounce before, it might act as a current support. Not only that, if you look at it on a different time frame here as well, you're going to notice that it bounced heavily before, okay? It rejected heavily. See right here where it went up and then it came down and then it acted as a support of 4% and then it rallied. So the question is, how long will 1205 hold? Or if 1205 will even hold at all? So what you see right now is this. You see like this gigantic yellow trend line. See? It wants to go to the downside. And because it wants to go to the downside there, once that yellow line ends up breaking, it's going to be like a free fall. If that yellow line breaks, that means that this red line at 1205 will also break. That means that it's going to drop to the next relevant support range. And I don't think that the first one is going to hold, okay? The way supports work is the more supports that are broken, the more likely the next one is going to hold. So if that support breaks, then the next one will probably be around here, and then the next one will be around here. So as each level of support breaks, the next one is more likely to be hit and hold. So it's got a stronger chance. Does that make sense? So the further up you are in support, the less likely it'll hold. So we need to understand that logic. So this first one, at like where the blue circle is, see where the blue dot is there in the middle of the screen? That one there at 1205, once it breaks, it's going to drop to the next one. Okay, and the 13 or 1137 is more likely to hold. But if it doesn't hold, then it's just going to drop to the 1116 range. But in my opinion, what's more likely to happen is once that yellow line breaks, it's going to end up dropping really hard to the next support level, which is going to be at this white line over here. And that white line is probably going to be somewhere down over here, at around $1,100 range. So if it drops to $1,100, I'm actually going to be up about $50,000 for this trade. So there's a high chance that I could make $50,000 today, or tomorrow, or maybe this week. It all depends. So here we are. Okay guys, what's up? So here we are. If you take a look here, this is the 1205 support that ended up holding before as a resistance. So now it acts as a support. Not only that, if you go to like a lower time frame, you'll see that right here also acted as a support. And if you zoom far out right now, you're also going to see that the yellow line is also acting as a trend line support, okay? That yellow line. So here we are pretty much in a region of interest and a possible support bounce. Are we going to hold there? Probably not. It's probably going to end up breaking eventually. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, it might be now, but eventually it's going to break regardless, and I don't think there's any way it's going to fall down. So the best target, in my opinion, is zooming far out and then taking a look at this gigantic ass white line over here. So if you take a look at that white line, it's connecting multiple points. Once that yellow one breaks, that white line, okay, so once 1205 breaks, once that yellow line breaks, the next really relevant support level is probably going to be this trend line right down over here, wherever that'll be. So $1,100 just seems like a really viable support level to focus on. If not there, then at least somewhere like where the wicks are, I'm guessing, like maybe here for now, like 1157. That might be a decent first level of support, but nevertheless, this is a swing position. So because it's a swing position, you have to acknowledge the fact that it's going to be a longer position that you're going to be in. It could be days. It could be even a week that we'll be swinging this. But either way, it's going to be a very, very profitable trade. So what's up guys? How's it going today? Cheers. I'm finishing up my first beer. So today, I'm trading outside. Most of my days, I'm not really on the computer a lot. I'm actually always outside, sitting on the lawn chair, putting my feet up, having a beer by the pool in my house, enjoying the beautiful view, always, of the pool, the mountains in the background, in the beautiful garden, listening to nature sounds. That's usually how it is. So right now, I'm in a very big short position. I'm in a $600,000 short position. I'm shorting a coin called MKR, and I'm up about $2,500 so far. And I'm gonna work outside here today in my office. I'm gonna talk to you guys about why I decided to short this coin and why it was optimal. If you look really far back on a high time frame, you're gonna see that it most likely made 5 waves to the upside. Okay, I'm gonna get my stylus out so you guys can see it. Just give me 1 second here. So right here, you see that there's wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It also hits a major resistance from far back in August of 2021. So because of that, there is most likely a chance for us to reject heavily, and also because we're at a 5-wave structure. So right now, there's a few key resistances that need to be broken. So one key resistance is this one right here. Okay, take a look. See right there where this line is? That is at 1205. 1205 needs to break, okay? And once it does, it's also going to break that yellow trend line. Once that yellow trend line breaks, so once this red resistance right there breaks at 1205, it's also going to coincidentally break right here, the yellow trend line. Okay? So once that breaks, hell is going to rain loose. Okay? So it's going to break the yellow trend line and the red, which means that this part right here will break down entirely. And if that breaks down, it's going to hit over here. Okay? It's going to hit the bigger picture of the white line. It's going to hit right around there at $1,100. Okay? And if it hits $1,100, so I'm up $4,000 now. If it hits $1,100, my profit will be $56,000. So that's going to be a really good payday today. Alright guys, I think that trend line actually might have broken, but I want to find a re-entry. I'm not comfortable playing $600,000 to be honest. And my wife doesn't like it when I stay in these positions for a long time. But the thing is, the candle is so red that it makes me like wonder why the fuck I should close it, right? I should probably just ride this position to the maximum possible profit, right? That's logic. Logic would tell me to do that. But the thing is, if there's a major bounce, it's going to be a major bounce. So right now I'm up about $7,200. If I close my position, trust me, there's going to be a gigantic spike to the upside. So if I want to close my position, I got to do it very strategically, which I'm not going to do, I don't think, right now. I'm just going to kind of chill here. So let's just see how much I could close if I wanted to. And the question is, did that trend line actually break down right now? And if it did, how far down further will it go? So I'm going to be patient. So I'm only up like 1%. That's the thing, right? 1% only. And we are at that trend line and we might get a bounce. So it's like I'm very uncomfortable right now, to be quite honest. Because that's a big profit. I should be happy with it. Because if it does bounce, I'm going to wipe away literally all of my profits. Because what if it goes up a gigantic amount? What if it makes another wave, okay? What if it makes another wave to like up there? I could always find a re-entry around 1240. And I can capitalize on this now. So that's my logic. So I'm going to take this, some of my profit right here, and I'm going to close like say 250 MKR. I'm going to do it right here, about 250 MKR right now. Let's see if I can actually close that. No, the price is still steadily going up now. I might have missed my opportunity to close. I closed a little bit only. So now I'm basically chasing closes, okay? I'm just trying to chase a little bit of a close here, but it's not really working out in my favor. So I don't think that I'm going to be able to close any of these positions of mine, unless it just smashes to the downside. But we did get a wick, and that support of 1205, it did end up holding as predicted. So now I'm not closing. I closed 100, that's about it. And now I'm trying to close a little bit more here, but it's not really going well. So I'm really gonna have to wait. So I closed 110 so far. I try to close 89.275 around this price here. Oh, sorry, 89.275, just like that. So I try to close a little bit more. Didn't really work out, so I'm gonna market execute it because I really want to make sure that I have a really good re-entry position, and I don't want to. I want to take some of my profits. Okay, so I closed a little bit of profit so far, and this is going to be a complicated trade. As a professional trader, you are going to go back and forth quite often. So far, I took a look at my profits, guys. Look at this. Look at my profits. They're fucking gigantic. 3,400. I'm up a lot this month. Look at my last one right here. On where was it? $12,600. Huge. So I took $1,500 profit on that so far. And what I'm gonna do is re-enter if I need to. Okay. I'm gonna actually buy 50 more, and then I'm gonna get ready to market execute. So now I've closed some of my positions. How much did I take total here? I took a $2,000 profit so far, but I'm gonna re-enter if it breaks this trend line, right? That's the logic, because it seems like it's trying to slightly hold here for now. I wanted to make sure I capitalize on a potential profit now, and then if there's a bounce, I'm going to end up adding a lot more on the upside because I'm heavy bearish right now. So that's how it's gonna go. Let's just wait here, see what will happen exactly. And there is definitely a bounce here for now so far. Alright, so I actually added more to my position because we're dipping below $12,000 now. Alright, so I added more to my position. I took that $2,000 profit, and now I'm up another 4. And it does look like the trend line is absolutely breaking to the downside. So I made the right decision to take some profit, and now I'm going to ride this to the downside. These look like very, very bearish patterns. And now I zoom out on a higher time frame, and I want to see if this pattern actually broke. Did it break? Did it actually break down? So it's really important to be able to check. So if you look right here, we don't really know if it broke down or not. Like, it's guessing at best. I mean, we're touching really important points right here, but did it actually hit that trend line? And another very important question is it even a trend line, okay? Is it even a trend line, right? So now I'm up another 3,700 here. I might just take this profit and honestly call it a day, guys, because I don't want that stress, to be quite honest. Okay, I don't want that stress. So here, I might just market execute here and just be like, fuck it, I'm done. But if you look on the 4 hour, like, for example, on what time frame here? 5 hour, 6 hour? Let me double check here. No, not that one. Not that one. On the 3 hour, we actually have 3 black crows, which are basically 3 red candles in a row, and indicates that the next one is going to be really, really bearish. But I don't know, man. I don't know about this bounce here or not. I think I'm just going to hold my position and ride it for now and be okay with that and just hold it because I'm very confident right now. I don't want to fuck myself over and be like, oh, I could have taken a $50,000 profit. You know what I mean? I don't want to have that feeling later, so it's better to just hold some for now and shed during key intervals when I believe that we have reached the top. Or a bottom, a bottom. So we're inching more and more to the downside. I'm up more and more as well. I'm up 5,000 now on top of the other 2 earlier. But will it continue? That's the question, okay? Will it continue down? It's at 97.3. These are very bearish candles. So I don't see why it wouldn't continue down, right? I don't see why it wouldn't. It's a matter of just kind of waiting now. And this is why it's called a swing position. It's called the swing position because you need to be aware of the fact that these time frames are higher, and that these guys might have to, you just might have to wait a really long time for something to happen. So RSI is on the 30 minutes not even low. 15-minute RSI is not even low. Like, it's not even low at all. Okay, so now I'm up a lot. I'm up 5,500. So there you go. It's doing really well so far. Ah, man, do I take my profit? That's the big question always. I'm nervous, fucking nervous as fuck always. And I'm also in a gigantic position. Bears are still hammering down. Ah, man, I'm out, guys. I don't want to be in this position, to be quite honest. I know. I'm gonna re-enter and play smaller. Okay. So let's start shedding very slowly here, one at a time. Let's shed 100 here at 95, 250, like say $100 upwards there. Let's see if it's gonna go down even lower. So here's the bounce so far at the trend line. It's certainly giving us a small bounce here. I don't like that, so I'm gonna consider shedding my position. This candle formation indicates pretty bullishness, like for now, but we're still getting definitely pressure to the downside. I don't know if this trend line is going to hold yet or not, but it's most likely going to hold for now, short term. Okay, so I had to readjust this trend line of mine. Definitely had to readjust it. So yeah, I have my limit order in here still. I'm going to remove it. I think I filled up like a little bit. So I'm just basically going back and forth with positions right now. So now I'm up $2,000, and this is another 4,800, so that's 6,800. If I market execute it now, it would cause a gigantic spike, which I don't want to do. So I have to be very careful of my position. So one thing, another thing I have to be very cognizant about is how it can make a huge retracement of the whole thing. Okay, so what if it made a retracement of the whole thing of like even to like 618 Fibonacci, which would put me to negative, so I don't want to do that. So the best thing for me to do right now is to play this on a smaller time frame and acknowledge the fact that I really do suck at swing positions. So I'm going to put 250 in there. Price is spiking up. Bulls are recovering a little bit. Let's see if it's going to smash. Yeah, price is going to the upside, man. Might have missed some of my chances to take profit. I just don't really want it to get to a higher price right now, and I missed my opportunities to take a profit and enter at a better price. So I'm going to play the scalp game instead of the swing game now. Decided to change up some of my strategies because I really do suck at swinging. I don't have the patience for it, to be quite honest, at all. Don't mind the sound. Our lawn keeper is here. He's mowing it for us. So I think this might get a little bit lower just for now. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's just put in like 50 here for now and see if anyone will bite on that even. Nope. Even putting 50 in there, it drives up the price. Okay, so I've taken a little bit of profit. I'm up about $2,400 right now on MKR. And I'm still trying to actually slowly close my positions to get the fuck out of here. But it's actually very, very, very hard too, because I'm just micro closing. I'm trading, over $500,000, so I have to be very careful of my closes. I gotta just let them nibble. If I put a big position in now, what will end up happening is the market will freak out, right? Because the volume is actually not that high. The volume is only, well, it was 320 million when I started trading it. So because it was really, really low, I'm a market maker pretty much. So I don't want to do that. So I've taken how much now? I think they've been nibbling the whole time. I've taken $2,600 of profit, and there's more to go. Okay, so I think they almost nibbled some, but not that much. So I'm gonna try to put some more positions in here. Now I'm up, how much? 3,400. 3,400. So I'm gonna put 100 more, actually not 100, 25 at a time. So let's see if they can nibble just even some of that. Just try to get some small prices in here. Neighbor's dog, sorry about that. Okay, so let's see if they're gonna buy some or sell to some of that. They're really not wanting to sell much right now. It's hard. There's lots and lots and lots of walls. People are really indecisive right now. The volume is starting to slow down. Not many people are buying or selling right now. Horrible. Not a lot of activity. So see all those green things there? Those green things are all mine. Well, not the green thing, but the green with the arrow. I'm trying to close, but it's becoming very difficult. If you guys don't know, there's this floating text right here that I'm moving. You can actually turn that on Binance. It's called the floating window, alright? I gotta turn it off. So you can see that I'm not closing any of my positions, unfortunately. Let's go to the trades. There's not anybody selling or buying, actually. It's kind of just steady there. It's a horrible place right now. So I'm gonna just try to add like 5 at a time to see if people are gonna sell. So nobody's selling either. I'm like kind of stuck in this position right now. Alright, so there's some people selling, right? I unleashed a little bit. I'm just kind of like literally selling 10 at a time. I don't want to spook the market. I don't want to be absurd with my buys or my sells, because people will 100% panic with big positions. So people are just slowly selling. This is a low volume coin, and I'm trading too much. If you think about it, I'm trading $600,000. So if I buy, that's 600K. If I sell, that's 600K. That's $1.2 million. When I first started trading it, it only had $300 million of volume. That's it, 300 million. So I was literally 0.3% of the market. That's a big fucking percentage. So you have to be really aware of that. Okay, you can't just if you're like close to anywhere, you know, like even 0.1% of the market, you will make a dent in it. Okay, these are very big sizes that I'm playing. So now we're a little bit higher. I'm now at the 300,000 or $320,000 left. So my position is actually like small now. So it looks like it's recovering here slightly. This might have been the bounce. This might have been like the right there, the bounce, right? So I don't know if it's gonna smash it right now, but I think I'm doing a great job, and I think I might add more to my position, or I can just market close this. I'm just gonna market close it. Fuck it. I market executed, okay, the whole position. I'm gonna enter at a better price. So now I took in a $5,000 profit total so far. Okay, so that I'm gonna try to look for an entry when it bounces here, or I'm gonna try to find an entry right here. Okay, if it smashes it there, or if it breaks down and it retraces up, and then I retest it. So right now I took in $500,000 or $5,000 profit so far. See that? 5,000. Sorry, I'm mixing up my words, too many zeros. So $5,000 profit, not bad at all. I entered this trade yesterday around the same time as now, so it's been about a 24-hour trade. So I have a $100,000 balance on my futures account. That's how I was able to leverage. And my P&L for this month right here, you can see I'm actually up $36,000, and here's my P&L, right? I'm very honest about it. In 30 days, because I think I lost near the end of last month, right? But this month alone, I'm up $36,000 this month. So I'm having some very, very big days, and now I'm gonna go focus more on this live trade of mine, and I'm gonna see if I can find a possible re-entry, because I want to make a lot of money on this trade, and I think it's great. So cheers, guys. Up $36,000 today.